Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across this beautiful blue-green globe of ours. And it is a globe. Welcome to Real News Live. I'm your host, Mike Barra in Seattle, Washington. And I'm joined today, as I always am, on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays by the lovely lady with the lustrous hair, my co-host from Hayden, Idaho, Jennifer Faladorian. Jen, how was your weekend?
Great.
Great. Jen's got a lot of stuff going on in her personal life, right? Jen's the one who needs to ask somebody, well, if I do this, what will happen? You need to ask a psychic, Jen, what's going on?
I need me to go to, but I need a personal assistant as well. But
I wish I had 10 more minutes to prepare this morning, but I don't. So what I'm going to do is we're just going to kick into a little bit of monologue. Now, Jen sent me her Jentel, but I've been so busy getting ready, I haven't read it, so it's going to be just as much a surprise to you as it is to me. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a monologue about some things. We're going to ask Jen some questions, and we're going to go from there. Hang on. I want to do one thing. Go to my Telegram desktop. Got to find my picture. Guys, yes, I will comment. I do believe the football games, at least one of them, was kind of fixed yesterday. And I think the Cincinnati Bengals got completely screwed by the officials who did what they could in a close game to help the Kansas City Chiefs prevail. So that is kind of sucky, but it does bring us back to football. Look, come on. All right, there it is. There's my picture I'm looking for. All right, Jen, I'm going to do a screen share here, and I'm going to show you something, and I've got to turn the chat off first. All right, it's just you and me. Got to move you over to the side. So I'm looking, when I look to my right, I'm looking at you. See, I'm looking at Jen, and I'm actually reading my chat. Okay.
That's the wrong way. Stick backwards.
Window. Okay, I'm going to show this window. Let me know if you can see the picture, Jen. Can you see it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In response to the sort of catastrophe that happened on Friday when this guy, Kyle Brandt, had Josh Allen, the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, on, and they asked him, well, that was your teammate, Damar Hamlin, that addressed you the other day, right? And he said, I think so. and he said, pretty sure that it was Damar Hamlin. But in response to that, guess what? After 3 weeks, the Buffalo Bills finally released a video of somebody claiming to be Damar Hamlin, who possibly looked a lot like Damar Hamlin, coming out and speaking and talking about his recovery. It was a heavily edited, heavily cut video, so we haven't seen the raw footage. We don't know if it took 10 or 20 takes to get some of this stuff done. But at the beginning, he comes onto the screen, he turns around, and he throws his jersey, or he throws a T-shirt for his foundation behind him. And when he does that, you can see his right arm. And as you can see from the screen cap from this official Buffalo Bills video, his right arm is as clean as mine. There's no tattoos on it. However, the real Damar Hamlin has sleeve tattoos all over both arms. This is a picture on the right from his Instagram, which is still there. The guy on the left does not have tattoos. The guy on the right does have tattoos. Jen, I got to ask you, what's up with that video, and was that really him?
Well, they have different elbows, for once. Did anybody see that? Different arms. All his muscles are gone. That doesn't happen that fast.
No, not in 3 weeks. What do the angels say? Was it him, or was it not the real Damar Hamlin?
Not.
And why then would they do that without faking the tattoos? Do they just think you're stupid? We're stupid and we're not going to notice? Is that what they think? Or is it a message?
Let's see. Do they think we're stupid?
Well, they do.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do think we're stupid. The whole tattoo thing, really a huge blunder on their part. I mean,
yeah. I mean, DeMar.
It's almost like it's like intentional. So who's really in charge of this whole cover up here?
Yeah, that's a good question. And again, in a book that I talk about fairly frequently, Choice, I tell you that at the end they're going to make mistake after mistake. Everything they do is going to be the exact opposite of what they really should do. And
I don't know if he's frozen or was I
yes,
frozen?
I was frozen. Yes,
okay.
I was frozen. There's one.
I can hear you.
Can you? Can anybody
yeah.
else? Okay, so he usually wears a sleeve on his right arm to cut, but when he doesn't, you can see that there's tattoos all over his right arm. And this guy clearly did not have tattoos. So is it a deep fake? Is it a clone? He already said clone. It's like, I don't know what the fuck is up with this, but it does reinforce that they make the wrong. They will at the end they will make all the wrong decisions over and over and over again.
So is it a clone or is it somebody? I originally got that it was a brother because of the DNA being so close. When I look inside there. That could be a clone. I mean, it's hard for me to come out and say that because it's just so out there, like, oh, there's a clone. We'll just, send in the clones.
Right.
Right. Well, also it's a double. It's a clone. I'm just trying to figure out if it's somebody with a mask or.
Well, he didn't wear a mask. He didn't wear a mask, but did they fake his face with digital? All
right. Is it a clone? No, double.
Double. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I feel like this double is related to him.
Yeah. So cousin, brother.
Yes.
It's interesting. One time I did a reading with Denise, my pet psychic friend, and we were talking about me and Dave being twins, and she said, well, it doesn't matter. You guys could have been born 3 or 4 years apart. There was only so much good DNA to choose from between your mom and your dad, so you would have ended up looking pretty much the same, even if you'd been born 2 or 3 years apart, which can happen in some families. So, yeah, it wouldn't be too surprising. So, anyway, that's pretty interesting stuff. And again, guys, just keep the pressure on, because what they're trying to do now is they're trying to marginalize us. They're trying to have us go, oh, well, you're so crazy. You even say that, even when he comes and shows up and talks, it must be him. It's not him.
These contracts that some of these players have a lot of fine print. And I think the family is stuck in that.
Yeah. I'll bet.
And it basically, so it's almost like when you publish a book, giving away your copyright too. It's like they signed on the dotted line and within it didn't really pay much attention, but these people that own him can move within that and say, well, I'm sorry, you're bound by this and we're going to do what we're going to do and you're not going to do anything about it.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, moving on to, again, I think that what we're establishing here is that that's probably not him. And the saga continues. The saga will continue. It is a scary, weird situation. All right, now we're going to move on to some other stuff. Jen, this is really interesting. This is the U.S. national debt clock. Whoops, I think. It's the U.S. national debt clock. There we go. There's the U.S. national debt
just
clock.
Heard updated.
What?
I just heard updated.
Referring to Damar Hamlin or the U.S. national debt
The clock.
Okay. Well, let me redo it. I just did. All right. One interesting thing people have noticed is that the dollar to oil ratio and the dollar to gold ratio and the dollar to silver ratio are all zeroed out. Now, in a fiat currency system, their intrinsic value is nothing. They're paper. A lot of people are saying, well, what this seems to mean is that the US dollar is now worthless to buy actual hard asset commodities. Is that what it means, or does it mean something else that we haven't figured out yet? That's not an official.
That's not what it means. That's what he said. I said, is that what it means? He said, that's not what it means. What's going on with the debt clock with these zeros? This debt clock is not
official. We know it's not
in
official.
Compliance with the new system. So you are getting weird readings.
Same thing. Means there's a new system. There is another system, as Colossus once said in that great movie, Colossus the Foreman Project, which you should pick up. All right, so that's interesting. Then yesterday we got a story from Simon Parks to the effect that the Iraqi dinar has collapsed against the US dollar, which in fact it has. And when you actually go to the article, it basically says some pretty interesting stuff. This is actually from a day or so ago. Here, let me change out what I'm doing here. I should just go with the entire screen. That's probably simpler if I just do that. Okay. It says hundreds protest in Baghdad over the Iraqi dinar slide. It basically talks about how it went into a steep decline to around 1620 versus the 1470 it was at to the dollar it was at in November. And this has created dollar shortages as demand has outstripped supply and accelerated the dinar's descent against the greenback, Iraq central bank officials and traders say. And the people protested and said, our demands are clear. Governments must intervene to stop the decline of the dinar value because we're suffering from high prices at local markets and stop the neighbors stealing our dollars. One banner read alluding to Iran, blah, blah, blah. The central bank governor was replaced a week or so ago. Now, Jen, this is fascinating because of a couple things, and I'm going to get to rumors here in a second. What this does, folks, is this forces Iraq to revalue their dinar. It forces them to do it because the bottom line is there aren't enough dollars to spread around the country to have a functioning economy. So the only way that they can change anything is if they increase the value. Now, Nader from the Middle East, who we like, is a nice guy, lives in Iraq, said that he heard the rumor that the dinar has been revalued to $1 to 382 dinars. So imagine it used to be 1,170 or 1,450, dropped to 1,640. Now it's 1 to 382 dinars. Now, Mark Z did his calculations this morning, and that would mean that your $1,100 that you spent on 1 million Iraqi dinar would now be worth about $2,000. I want to let everybody know that that is just the beginning, and then they can let the dinar float. But if it's just paper versus paper, it's going to remain relatively worthless. Also, for years and years and years in this, they have said to people there will be an initial sucker rate. What they're trying to do is get the suckers who are like, oh my God, I've waited 10 years. I spent $1,100 on 1 million dinar and now I can get 2,000 out of it. Here, they want you to take the sucker rate so they can get their dinars back cheaply, knowing they're going to be worth a lot more in a very short period of time. I think this is the sucker rate. Oh, I can get $2,000 out of this worthless paper? Here, take my dinar. A lot of people are going to do that worldwide. Then If it floats, well, okay, so it floats, that means it just goes up to whatever the market has. Well, it doesn't have any value unless they do the one thing that they have to do, which is tie it to something of hard intrinsic value. Paper currency has an intrinsic value of 0. But if it's attached to gold, silver, or oil, suddenly it has value. So this is another precursor move, because once they say, well, yes, the dinar is only worth 382 to the dollar, but now we're going to tie it to the value of oil, suddenly it's 1 to 1. It's a dollar to a dinar, or it's 3 dinars to the dollar, or it's 10 dinars to the dollar, or it's 16 dinars to the dollar. Kaboom, there's your revaluation, and the float happens immediately. The other thing that's happened is the ISX, the Iraqi Stock Exchange, is now trading in Dubai. It is listed in Dubai. Well, I don't know if it's trading yet, but it's listed on the Dubai international stock exchanges. So in other words, people can now buy. It'd be like buying the Dow. I want a mutual fund that buys all the Dow stocks. Well, I'm going to buy the ISX that includes all of the Iranian companies or the Iraqi companies that make up the Iraqi Stock Exchange. So I've invested in Iraq in that way. That's listed. It is that close to going public. I have an Intel contact who you all know, and I'm not going to name him because I can't. Jen's smiling, which is good. I can't wait to hear the Jentel, who says Tuesday. I said, what about, I think the 29th is a very important date. He said, I'm hearing Tuesday. Okay. Mark Z reiterated again today. Everybody's telling him Tuesday. Everybody with unanimity is telling him Tuesday. I just got a report that Wolverine posted with tears of joy. Okay. That's all we know. But here's the thing. If the rate of the Iraqi dinar is now 1 to 382, the ball is rolling and nothing can stop it. Now, keep in mind, the Biden administration wants to stop this. They might try to hold the dinar at 1 to 382. It is known that they are trying to pressure the Iraqi government not to revalue any higher than that. But the Iraqis can say, fuck you to the U.S. or the U.S. government, in this case, the Biden administration, and do, as Jen says, they do what they want. And then they've broken away from the chains of the U.S. domination, which is what's kept them in poverty for the last 20 years. If the Iraqi dinar was actually valued at its true intrinsic value compared to what the country has in terms of riches, it would be a lot higher than it is now. This is an artificial program rate that's been enforced on Iraq. So that's, I think, everything, Jen. In other words, everything is set, the table is set for the event that we want to happen if we're holding currencies. Not that this is a dinar currency show, and I have no idea what you're about to say, but I'm just gonna, with that background, you got a smug, satisfied smile on your face. I can't wait to see what the angels have to say about this. So let me give you.
Well, you'll see how this Jentel lines up, because we haven't communicated. I haven't been paying attention. I've been busy with family in the house. He didn't read my Jentel.
I have not read Jen's Jentel.
Just sent it right before we got on here.
Yeah, you should just send it to me. I was, primping up in front. I had to dye my beard this morning and dye my hair and all that stuff.
Now, I want you to read the last page that says RNL note.
Jen froze. Jen froze.
Notes out loud.
Okay, you want me to do that now?
Am I back?
You froze. Yeah, you froze, but you're back.
Yeah, just for fun. Let's do that.
So you want me to read these to the people right now?
Just the last page. I'll do that, and then I'll come back and I'll add some things to it.
Okay.
So just start with RNL notes.
Okay, RNL notes 13023. I am reading these for the first time right now. Jen and I swear to God. Talk of war is false and an attempt to pull remaining actors out. Rates or news of rates will fluctuate over the coming few days. Jeez, what's happening? like a stock closing for the day. Most are set as of now, but can be adjusted, meaning rates. The rates are set as of now, can be some adjustments. We will be pleasantly surprised by the Zim. I
saw diamonds.
Oh, by the way, did you know that Zimbabwe has more diamonds than any other nation on Earth? Jen, diamond deposits. The dong rate will slide. Question mark. I don't know if that means slide up or slide down. Where did my Jen go? Are you back? Nope, she's frozen. Okay.
I did know that, actually. I can't say this. Every time we talk about this,
okay, so it
happens.
We're back. All right.
Sucker
okay,
rate.
we're back, and then it says the dong rate will slide, but I don't know if that means up or down.
So what they're doing here is they're messing. Right. They're messing with the whole bad guy side. Looking at this, a sucker rate that you call a sucker rate is actually a sleight of hand. Rate. When you exchange, it will be good on the screen, and the real deal is Iraq wants. I wrote more on the notes, by the way. I'll give it to you later. The real deal is Iraq wants to revalue so high that the dollar can't sink it and outshine it later.
Okay. Sounds good to me.
Now let me read all this. Okay. So, situation updates, 1:30:23, Archangel Gabriel. Michael was there, but I talked to Gabriel.
You know, Jen, just a second before you continue, I find it fascinating that whenever we start talking about rates, there's interference on this signal. It's
just use a code word.
Yeah. But anyway, but it happened again. Bananas?
Okay.
If you have 382 bananas to one U.S. banana. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay, for this, it's okay. So I will try to talk in code, but I am not good at that. Okay. Right. Will we really get emails with info or numbers to exchange? Now, this is something I see a lot of people stressing about, so that's my job. Let's get rid of the stress, you know?
Right.
He said yes, and he showed me my email chain.
Hey.
There will be emails from several places. One said dinar on it, just dinar.
Okay.
There will be informational emails coming, and there will be emails sent out from the places that you purchased bananas from. Okay.
Okay.
We will be able to share that info. You're not under NDA at the time. This is informational purposes. We will be able to share it with friends if they didn't get it. So don't worry about that. We're not going to miss it. That's my fear. Like, wakes me up and I'm like, what if I miss it? What if I screw this up somehow?
Right.
I'm going to screw this up somehow. Will the info on sizes of bananas be set so people don't lose or get scammed, is what I asked. So will the RATES be set so people don't get scammed? Yes, very important, he said. Banks will do the
redemption. That's
yes.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that. They cannot... They will not be able to stray from the rates on the screen. They can't decide what you get, like an interest rate.
Okay, good.
That was the number one concern when setting up this entire thing, that while planning this, I'm trying not to say certain words, and has been handled to ensure fairness and accuracy. So you can't go in there and they're like, oh, she's stupid. Let's tell her it's $1. And then we'll, but they can't do that. You can only do what's on the screen. So you can't stray from that. All right. I see this week around Thursday for notifications. But we have been here before, haven't we?
Right.
And so I just want this to be over, please.
That would coincide. That would coincide pretty. Yeah, everybody's saying the 31st to the 1st for things moving forward. So yeah, Thursday would be perfect.
And so I was looking at Gabriel like, you gotta throw me a bone here. I mean, it's all coming from all around me. I really need this to be over. And he said this. He said, this part will be over soon. The wealth, and then he tried to explain to me why, because just for me personally, in order to understand something, I'm forevermore asking why. And you tell me why, and then I'm good. So, the wealth has to go somewhere, he said. It can't all be confiscated by governments. It has to go into the hands of a base of people who will know what to do to help people affected by what is to come. And I'm like, okay, what is to come? Don't hit me. But I think we know what's to come. I think it's what we've all been talking about for a very long time. But what he was saying is that the Alliance knew that there would have to be reserves and community outreach available before any more events could take place.
Mm-hmm.
That is why the RV is first.
Yep.
So, if I'm interpreting this correctly, there is a certain amount of wealth in the world, long held by a few with selfish intent. You can't take it from them and not put it somewhere. Because if they did that, the governments can only take so much of it without becoming the few and being corrupted and becoming some kind of like socialism society where, okay, the government's got all the money, we'll give it to you when we say, and that can be very corrupted. So easily corrupted. So the way he explained it, it must be scattered to maintain a balance in society and also the rate of currency. It must be scattered to maintain a value of money.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're sitting around thinking, well, what if this is just some pipe dream? What if this isn't real? No, explaining to us why this has to happen and why it has to go first really helps you with the this is real thing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then we get to this page. And I was asking about, the things that you were saying, he started talking about rates fluctuating over the coming few days. He actually said the next few days. And that's either reports of rates or actual value of rates.
Mm-hmm.
And then he kind of showed me the stock exchange in the closing of the day. So, but it's not like a stock. It's just how he explained it to me. Like, it will close after this few days is over at a certain rate, and when you go and you see it on the screen, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be good, and you'll be pleasantly surprised, is what he's saying. We will be pleasantly surprised by the Zelle. Now, if you're out there thinking, I'm going to get $300 million for this Zim bond here, probably not be pleasantly surprised. But most of us are like, am I getting anything out of this? And yeah. I have and always have been it's the first thing I purchased, most excited about the dong. Everybody's talking about Iraq. At this moment in time, I believe the dong has a rate and has had a rate for a while, but it's like a back burner rate. And I don't really know how to explain it. It just looks like it's behind. And they're waiting on Iraq. And when they do their thing, and I don't know why the fate of everyone has been set in the hands of Iraq Probably not good. But they have been designated for some reason to kick this off. He said the dong rate will slide. Now, I don't know. And then when you're saying, what were you saying? Wasn't slide, it was something else.
Well, it says that it did say in the notes there, the last note you got, the dong rate will slide, ? I just don't know whether that means up or down. It's okay if it slides up or down, but I don't know if that's up or down. Does that mean it's going to come in at a $2.25 or something and then fall back to $1? If it is, you want to cash it in.
Let's see, what does that mean? It's going to go, like, it'll be at a certain rate and then it'll slide somewhere else. I mean, is it going to go up? Let's think about that. Personally evolved, so try it. Hang on.
Yeah, slide usually means slide back, right? It means slide.
No, not if it's this kind of slide.
Okay, all right.
Even if you see reports of like 2 or 3, I am personally involved, so don't get too excited, okay? But I'm thinking that when we get in there, it will slide to something that is more than we expected.
Oh, okay. Good. Good. That also correlates with the other note that you had, where they talked about rates. Yeah, the rates being adjusted.
Everything I got right now, every question I ask is this is happening, like, this week. I mean,
yeah, and that's what. And everybody agrees with you. The entire Intel world agrees with you. We're all just that little bit edgy because it hasn't ever happened before. So.
But we've never really seen this kind of information coming from everybody before. It was like, oh yeah, it looks like it'll be a couple weeks, you know. Or
not even close. Yeah, it's not even close to how intense it is right now.
We're at a crucial place today. Well, that just came through me. Okay. Crucial place today. Okay, I don't know why, but we are. There's like, it's do or die. It's do or die today. You want to give me a little more on what that
means? Pray for a positive outcome and no false flags.
Really gotta be praying on this one today.
Yeah.
You gotta really see it in your mind. You gotta.
So all you whiny bitches on my chat.
Say it, be it. Create it.
So say that again, Jen. That was good. Be it, say it.
Say it, be it.
Be it, say it, be it.
See it in your mind. So, talking to Blessed Mother once in meditation, and she taught me this. She handed me this shut up and focus. All right. Look, this is really important for the rest of your life. So, I was in meditation with Blessed Mother one time. And, of course, I'm talking about all my personal stuff going on and on. And she hands me this stone, and it's a necklace. It's like this, it looked like selenite. And I'm like, what? And she said it's, so they always give me some kind of tool, you know, so that I can help me do something later, or just focus or something. And she goes, it's a stone of creation. This is a stone of creation. And I said, okay, what do I do with it? She said, see it, say it, and be it. It's not enough to want it. You have to create it. And I said, okay, that's hard. I will try. But the times that I have tried and I was fully on board, that's why I'm coming in here today with this. How is this real? Why is this real? We need to step into the place where it has already happened. Even before you ask, it is given. We were told 2,000 years ago. We have to step into a place of acceptance of it and push the, well, I'm just going to say, well, if it doesn't happen, I'll just cash it in, and stop all the thoughts of, live your life, right? Don't do anything stupid. But step into it like something amazing's coming, and I know what it is. And go ahead and daydream about it. Go ahead and without that voice in the background saying you're wasting time, don't be stupid, nothing good could ever happen. That's the dark side stopping you from creating it. You see? They've done it all this time. So there are a lot of people, and that's why we get misinformation. They know this. They know it. We need to know it now. We need to step in as this group of individuals who will lead or help or be a foundation for others. We need to step into it and say, I accept this. I accept this in my life. It is happening. It is real. And, at least for a few days, go ahead and do that. Just let everything go. Okay, just this week. And just say, it's real. It's happening. We've made it. And then we'll, that's great. And then say, God, tell God, thank you, God, for this. Like as if it has already happened. That's how I pray. I mean, I don't know if I ever told you that. But years ago, I changed the way that I pray because I learned this. It's very hard to do it. Not a master, okay? But I remember ever so often, but when I pray, I say, thank you, God, for protecting my children. Thank you, God, for this. Thank you, God, for that. Thank you, God, for that. Because it is acknowledging that even before you ask, it is given. That's what we need to do this week.
All right. 650 people, give or take, in the live stream right now on Rumble and various other platforms that we can track. Who knows? We might have 5 people on D-Live today. We do a Twitch. We don't know.
5? That's awesome. We have Twitch. Let's forget we have Twitch.
But we hope so.
And D-Live.
We hope so. Please do not forget that these shows are deleted from YouTube almost immediately upon completion of the live stream to avoid the censor's vicious acts. And you can always go to mikebera.blogspot.com and pick up not only today's show, the show of a given day, but any show that we've done in the past. They're all linked directly to the Rumble channel where we've got, like Monday Morning News and Jentel with Mike and Jen happening over there on Rumble. So go to Rumble, open up a Rumble account, subscribe to Real News Live now. You guys, there is a problem where when you search for the Real News Live channel, you're getting some other fuckfaces channel who also is calling it Real News Live. They keep redirecting to the wrong place. Let's see if it's still going now. We'll go to Real News Live. We'll do a search on Rumble and we'll click on Real News Live. And yes, it goes to our channel. So that apparently has been fixed, but that has been happening on my phone. It has weirded me out. So anyway, but you can go to mikebera.blogspot.com, pick up everything that you might need. And also do not forget I completely forgot to put up the CBD Gurus. The CBDGurus.com. Please don't forget to visit our wonderful sponsors, the CBD Gurus, at the CBDGurus.com, where you can call them at 612-412-8343. I have a personal friend who is a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and she desperately needed to get some gummies to calm her down watching that game yesterday. It had her all upset. We can get all kinds of cool health-related products. Go to the wholesale tab, slide down to not Mark Z, but Mike B Wholesale. Click on that sucker, and then you type in the discount code. The discount code is all lowercase, no S on the end. It is ALIEN, 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 all lowercase, no S, not aliens, just alien. You type in, enter like I'm doing right here, and you get this week's specials. Check out our special below. You have to be a wholesale buyer. Guess what? If you spend $25, you get $1 million Bolivar. If you spend $50, you get $2 million Bolivar. If you spend $75, you get 3, and so on. You can get 10 million Bolivar if you spend $175. I would do that now if you're going to do it. If that's the reason why you're going to buy some products, I'd get on it right now. We have all kinds of cool products. We have water-soluble Delta 9 stuff. We have the Delta 8 gummies. We have the full spectrum super oil. We have the Miracle Gold. We have the weight loss support, which you can combine with Jen's weight loss readings. And my personal favorite, the CBD pet oil, on sale this week at thecbdgurus.com. Jen, while I switch us over to jenniferfala.com, why don't you tell us what's going on over at jenniferfala.com?
Well, I am still accepting psychic development students. I have a couple places left, but I will cut that off at some point. I just don't know yet. We'll see how it goes and how many I can accommodate. But this is a really good deal if you'd like to get personal coaching from me. That you get 4 1-hour sessions monthly or bi-weekly. You get all of my classes, psychic development and interdimensional meditation. And we tailor make it with the archangels to you, your gifts, and what exercises would be best for you. So this is really like a mentor, a personal trainer for your psychic development.
There you go.
I still also have medical intuitive reading on sale there. You can get that. Everybody has to email me after the purchase of a healing and send me a photo and the name. Everybody has to email me because of restrictions that have been put on me from being either on this show or they just think I'm like an evil psychic. You have to email me to get your gift cards. You got to email me after purchase of anything. Tell me what you did. We personally interact. And because of that, and because I don't know, I guess I'm getting popular, my email is slammed, okay? So the wait time probably on healings and probably on emails is just going to be a little bit longer than you're used to, okay? On certain days, it's not. Some days, it's just boom. And then, like, if I take a weekend off to do family stuff, it's just horrendous. And then people start getting panicked and like, well, you haven't emailed me back since Thursday, and I'm scared. Did you get my this and did you get my that? It's like, I will get back to you. I will.
It isn't easy being popular, Jen. It isn't easy.
Yes, clearly. I don't know if that's that, but so what else do I got? Scroll down there.
30-minute phone reading or gift card, $79. 1-hour phone reading or gift card, $129.
Right. Wait.
Those house cleanses, personal energy cleanse, attachment removal by Jennifer, $79.
All kinds of things you can get them.
Oh, a clean living deal.
Bi-weekly, I've got the everything healing, the toxin DNA cleanse correction for people that had vaccines or been exposed to shedding. This is my effort to get rid of that, and it's a full body healing and cleanse as well. So, and I do have a combo for that. Also, the best thing I'm doing right now, I don't know if it's the best thing, but the best deal you could get, if you donate $100 to me via the love button, I am taking that $100 and I am giving it away on Fridays on this show for free healings to people.
There we go.
So you give, I give, helps me out, and then you will also, from this, receive all of my classes. You will receive 6 interdimensional meditation classes that take you all the way up to remote viewing. And you will get 3 psychic development classes that explain to you what it looks like, what it feels like, how to understand that you're already receiving guidance and to be closer to God, pretty much. Free. I'm going to send them all to you for that $100 donation. So you can do that now. I'm putting them in a file, and email me after and let me know what you did and if I can use your name. But they will be given away to others for free healings.
Cool.
So that's what's going on at jenniferfala.com.
That is some cool stuff. And let me put Jen's email into the chat. It's jmfala@gmail.com. Also want to remind everybody that I also have a love button to help support. Hopefully on Thursday sometime, I won't need anybody to support the show anymore, and we can spend all that money that we talk about, that we donate. We can all do it. We can give it to Old Dog Haven. We can give it to Blind Cat Rescue. We can do things like that with the money that people want to contribute. That would be great if we don't need any support whatsoever. But my love button is dollar at CashApp. It's $MBARA33 for Zelle. It's MBARA33 at MSN.com. Those are the love buttons to keep the show going, pay the bills, pay off Blake, make sure that the Restream account is okay. And once again, thank you to Casey Jones for helping me figure out the Rumble thing. last weekend. I appreciate that very much, Casey. So the love button is Cash App, $mbara33 and Zelle, mbara33 at msn.com. I am no longer allowed to use PayPal or Venmo because I'm a bad person. Because I do things like I question the narrative on Damar Hamlin when the guy they're trying to put up there as Damar Hamlin doesn't have any of Damar Hamlin's tattoos. I guess cloning the tattoos takes a little longer. But, it's funny because I feel like they had to put this video out because they had to respond because the rumors were getting very intense. And they just rushed it, is what I think. They just rushed it and thought, well, nobody's going to notice that. Just don't worry about it. Just don't show his right arm. Yeah, whoops. Okay, Jen, let's go to the chat and see what we have in there today. Let's see what we've got over on Rumble to start with. Remember, if you guys want to ask a personal question, you got to give us your real name, at least your real first name, and the real name of the person, pet, or entity that you are asking about.
Yes, Dave, you can.
Mom for Jackson. I've been seeing some postings on Telegram that the Stonehenge stones are fake. Can you ask the angels about this? It's interesting, Jen, because there are photographs that appear to show the discovery of Stonehenge in like the 1950s, and they're all laying down flat, buried in the ground, and they dug them up and then stuck them up. Is Stonehenge really? Is that stone circle always really been there and been like that, or did they dig them up and then stick them up themselves?
It was knocked down during the war.
Oh,
toppled, and then they put it back the best as they thought it was. Well, it looks like this one was there and this was here, and they may have it was used to open portals originally.
Yeah, that's bad. So, probably reptilian. And so apparently I see what they did. They probably photographed it, took it down, covered it in dirt to protect it, and then put it back up after the war. That's probably
what's interesting is that every time, I just realized this, I don't know, 40 years later. Every time somebody talks about Stonehenge, I see this scene in my head, and I just realized it. So there's an individual in some kind of robes holding something that looks, I don't know, bloody, and is walking in and out of these archways.
Mm-hmm.
I think there used to be an altar in the middle of it.
Yeah, probably. All right, let's go to the audience. Glenn wants to know, Jen, will this be my last year in Washington State? I have lost my family and I need warmth. That's Glenn.
No. You are going to visit other places and you may take a sec home. But not just yet this year. Okay.
Okay, Dr. Jekyll, Mike needed 10 more minutes to work on his illustrious hair. I think you really mean lustrous hair. And I will say nothing about my hair except it's all real. It's really my hair. People say, oh, Barry wears a toupee. I'm like, if I wore a fucking toupee, it would look 1,000 times better than this. I'll tell you that. Jesus, give me a break. That's so funny. It's like, seriously? No, I don't. Jen, your hair is exceptionally beautiful today. A lot of hair comments to start the day out, right? Rick Norman says he doesn't think the game was fixed. I can't go there. Well, Rick, let's just discuss it real quickly. When the Chiefs got the ball back with 30 seconds to play, they got a big punt return. Okay, there were 2 illegal blocks in the back, and the referees had line of sight on them and chose not to call them. So the Chiefs should have been starting at about their own 10-yard line instead of the 45. Then they didn't do much, but that last play where they called the late hit out of bounds on Mahomes, which they didn't have to call. They could have let that play go. There was a stranglehold offensive holding by Orlando Brown. So they could have called offsetting penalties. They could have done a whole bunch of things. They gave that game to the Chiefs. And you know when we found out right after the game, we found out what the agenda was. By the way, it was a black head referee in that game. And there were a lot of calls that went against the Bengals that were marginal. There were some calls that went against the Chiefs, people are saying, but they weren't very marginal. They were pretty obvious. First thing, as soon as that game was over, for the first time, 2 black quarterbacks are going to face each other in the Super Bowl. Historic! Oh, gee. Now do you know what the agenda was? Cincinnati's quarterback had the wrong skin tone. That's why the refs were kind of leaning to help the Chiefs out. And don't kid yourself that the NFL is not a woke corporation that would do that. Yes, thank you, Mike. Mahebe and I thought the same thing. Bengals got screwed. I just want the teams to decide it on the field. And those refs decided they were going to decide who won the game. I think all sports slightly are rigged. I don't think all sports are rigged, but there's a lot of rigging that's going on. And, look, it's gotten worse in the NFL since guess what? They decided to allow themselves to have a relationship with the casinos and organized gambling. The Damar Hamlin video is fake. If you watch close, there are several cuts in it. There are lots of cuts in it. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a deep fake. Dr. Jill Biden was with Roger Goodell in the stands. That shows you, A, that it's woke, and B, she's not a fucking doctor, okay? You're only allowed to call yourself doctor if you're a medical doctor or if you've passed a PhD dissertation in one of the hard sciences. She never did that, so she's not a doctor. And she probably plagiarized everything anyway, just like her fucking husband, or her fake husband anyway. Rick Norman, it wasn't the out-of-bounds hit that was a penalty. The calls previously went Casey's way. Yeah, we're still on that. Okay, Rick's now. There was an argument. I've watched the game twice. There were bad calls both ways. I had guys come over. I took their money. Yeah, there were not bad calls that I saw against Kansas City. The calls on Kansas City I thought were the correct calls for the most part. Wolverine had tears of joy. Yeah, wow. So did Wolverine hear something good from his contacts with the U.S. Treasury?
I saw that you got an audio message from him, but I didn't see a video today. Was he crying? Dude was crying?
Apparently there was a new one. There was a new one just before we went on the air. So.
Oh, let's go watch it.
But we were both too busy with our hair. We're doing our hair to be able to figure that out. Figure out what that was.
Yeah, we all sit backstage and primp and stuff. Do I look okay? Well, sometimes I do that. But
and that's going to be the screenshot.
Now we talk about important stuff, okay?
It's important to look good. Look, I'm just going to say this to people. Once you see yourself in 4K on a 65-inch TV, which I have, believe me, you notice your flaws, okay? You notice the thing underneath your eye that looks like a big, gigantic, wart that, by the way, I've had removed. And thank you to the dermatologist. Did a great job getting that. So I don't have that anymore. But, every time I'm like, that's all you can see. Jen is like, oh, my God, look at the size of that skin tag under my eye.
I know. That's all you don't have to tell me. I'm just so self-conscious, and I'm like I can't even watch my on these videos. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh my God.
Why the hell am I doing this?
Robert Zem is here. Thank you. Hope you're doing a good job over there moderating. Thank you, Bob Zem. JDK. Jen, just wanted to let you know that you were right yet again. You said that the growth on my daughter-in-law Mel was not cancer, and to find a new doctor she did and got the results today. It's not cancer. Never doubt Jen. # never doubt Jen.
And the other doctor said it was, and she was going to have to get a second opinion, people. Awesome. Thank you for telling that.
# never doubt Jen. Kimberly Reck is here. Hi, Kim. We love you. The thing to do is research to see if a cousin or other relative has disappeared. Also important, because they could do stuff like surgically alter a relative to make him look more like Damar. Nancy HB's here. Hi, Nancy. How are you? We love you. Scooby-Doo. It's also very important to note that the U.S. debt held by foreign countries is going backwards at a high pace. I did not know that. The U.S. debt held by foreign countries. Is that on that clock?
Really? Well, that happened before, didn't it? And then everything went back to normal?
Well, that was a different one, but it was,
I feel like the debt clock that we are looking at is freaking out. because it's not the same system. It's not hooked up the same anymore. It's not receiving the same readings or the same information, and it's kind of like when you have an old program and you got to, it's just something like that.
Yeah, so. I'm not seeing the foreign debt thing here, but it would be very interesting if that was going backwards, because that would indicate that we were moving to a gold-backed system. What do I believe personally, Mike? That the game was fixed at the end, that they did what they could to help the Chiefs win that game. That game should have at least gone to overtime and been decided by the players, not by the officials. They are backing the Zim with diamonds. That is correct. That's one of the things. Zimbabwe has all kinds of other stuff to back it too. How do we get notifications for the many types of notes? Deborah, we just told you. Jen just told you in Jentel. Relax. You're going to get emails. People are going to know.
There's no way you're going to miss this. That was my worry. Like, oh my God, what if, like, I didn't do something right? Or listen, to do the RV, you don't have to sign up for a certain website to know. Okay? You're going to be notified from several different places about this. And it's like, well, how do they know what I have? And blah, blah, blah. Well, you purchased from these people, and they've got your email. Okay? But one way or another, this information that comes out is not that personalized, he said. And you're not under NDA to not share it. You go under the NDA when you go in there.
Yeah, because you can't talk about the rates, because they don't want people to know that you got way better, because there's going to be the rates that we get as the informed people, and then there's going to be the general public rates, which are going to be lower.
Right. If you want to type it out, we could even gematria. We could come up with some word that is the right numbers, per letter.
Oh, that would be great. That would
be great. For the 1-800 numbers.
We can figure that out. Somebody's got to do that. Yeah. All right. But just type these words into gematria and
here's the letters, and they correspond to 1-800 blah blah blah.
Well, I wonder if they thought about that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Google Firster works out to $2.25 for the dog. All right, Laura Mills has a suggestion. Bananas equals dong, Zinfandel equals Zim, and bread equals the US dollar. I kind of like those code words, Laura. Bananas for dong.
Oh, God, I didn't put that together.
Jen just got it. Yeah, Jen just got it. My dog Loki has stabilized thanks to Jen's healing and prayers in the group chat. Now his brother Thor is not eating and seems sick. Seeing the vet, but can you narrow down what his issue is? Thanks. What is Thor's issue? What's going on with Thor? Thor the dog.
Kim Cottney. It's a back end infection.
Oh.
It's in the back half of the dog. So I'd probably go in and get urine samples. If you collect something, take it in there. There's something going on with the back end. And it is an intestinal kind of inside body kind of infection, so it's something down there. But I'd have to have more time to really.
Kim says Thursday is my birthday, so that would be awesome if it happens on that day. Good for you.
Happy
I wanted it to happen on my birthday, which was last Thursday. Marcy answered this question about a month ago. The question someone said they had 250,000 dinar and 1 million dong, and Mark said that would be life-changing. So Mark's hearing a lot of the same things that Jen is from completely different sources.
Yeah. Well, if the dong comes in it, what I heard while I was doing the dishes, that's like changing.
Yeah.
For everybody.
Cherry wants you to ask about the Venezuelan Bolivar.
I can't get it. I don't know why. I can't get it. I don't.
Okay, well that's okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. It's okay. I do think it's going to be more interesting. Your Mike is such an engineer. Well, did you see my engineering hack yesterday, Glenn? I had this little tiny remote for the audio surround system, and it keeps falling in between the cushions of the couch. And I finally said, fuck it, I'm going to do an engineering thing to this. And I duct taped it to a wooden spoon. So there's no way that sucker is going to slip between there again. And I took a little bread, clip, the little plastic clip, and I stuck it underneath the duct tape. So next time I go to pull the duct tape, guess what? I'm not going to have to sit there and pick the edge of it. Engineering solutions to real life problems.
Tweaker.
Engineering life hacks. Yeah, how will you know the RV has happened? Well, Mike live streams from the pool at the Bellagio, surrounded by bikini models with a little drink showing with a little umbrella.
No, that's after. You won't be able to do that yet. We got to go in there. So,
I know.
You think we're gonna like? Oh yeah, did that happen last week and we didn't tell you? Like, come on.
Yeah. Oh no, we didn't tell you. Oh,
everybody's gonna freak the hell out. If everybody starts talking in code and you have to gematria everything, then you'll know.
Yeah, how do you feel about the Boulevard? Well, we just tried. Jen can't get the Boulevard. It's not
again. How do we feel about the Boulevard? So it's kind of like when you ask these questions, will it be a good payout or will it be a good exchange or whatever? It's like define good. So like, how should I ask this question? Don't ask me what will the rate be because that's hard, and I immediately get test anxiety and shut down. So
will you be happy?
How can we get around that? Huh?
We'll just ask. Will we be happy with the return we get on that? Will it be a good return?
That's also depends on the person. So this is where you get it. This is where you get stuck. So let's say I had 1 million.
You don't have to tell us the number. You can just tell us, wow, you're going to be happy.
I'm trying to figure out if it's 375,000 or if it's 3,750,000.
Either way, you're going to be happy. Either way, you're going to be driving a Ferrari.
I saw 375.
Okay, 375. There you go. Nobody knows what that amounts to. Nobody knows where the decimal place is on that.
It could be 375,000. It could be 3.75. It looks like 375,000 to me, but it could have more zeros. I don't know.
No, Laura, stop. Okay, yeah, they might give it to us initially in the U.S. dollar, but then those U.S. dollars are going to be converted to the new U.S. notes. So just relax. They're not going to give us money that's worth nothing. That's not the plan.
It's notes.
Yeah.
In the account, it is the new system, so it will be the new notes. No. Now, if you transfer that money over into another account, it may be in that account with the bank. Like, you take $250,000, put in your check account. That might be converted to dollars at this point in time. So that's what I see. But the money in the big account that is secure on the QFS is in notes.
Mark says, regardless of whether the full RV happens or not, he's very confident that at a minimum, Iraq is going to do a near. They're just going to go their own way. That's the minimum. And that's a life-changing amount because that's like $1.66. So if you have $1 million dinar, that's life-changing money. So
it's not near.
It's probably not going to be a near. Thanks. Jen says no near. Rosemary Limo, Jen, should I start looking for a house or a car to buy a car first? Hey, that's your decision. Let's actually have it happen, and then we'll start.
Don't start looking for anything. You can dream. I've been over on Zillow quite a few times looking for my beach house, and some of them I'm really going to need a huge windfall to get that one that I want. But it's okay to dream, like we talked earlier in the show. See yourself in the house. It doesn't. And like visions that you receive, information you receive in your mind is not always exact, and I can explain that in detail sometime if you want me to. But It's the basic information that is given from it. You may see it in a completely different scene. It may be a completely different house. But the basic information of that, like say you had a dream you were in a beach house, or is that you are in a different residence. It is large and it is happy and you are abundant. Those are the things that you pull from that information that's sent, because your mind will translate it in a way that is familiar to you. So it's always the base of the information that has been given to you. Anyway.
I see gold in my head and I exist in the name of God. Good for you, Kathleen. Tamara Pepper, new person here. Julie Green's prophecy this morning was that God's warning us that something bad, including many deaths, will happen soon. Jen, what do the angels say about this? First thing I'd probably tell you is to stop listening to Julie Green, but go ahead.
That's human fear. That is programming. Everything that we receive as information comes through as energy, like telepathy. We translate it into language according to what we feel, what we know, what we anticipate. It takes many, many years of getting it wrong and getting it right to understand the subtle differences. Okay, so that's why psychics get all different kinds of information, because it's coming through your human filter.
Mm-hmm.
But what I do know is that divine does not forecast fear. They will inform, maybe you should get more food in the house, or they do not, and they will not give you information that is needless suffering. They will not, especially if you are in a position to pass that on. So it may be like, please, okay, be prepared.
Please let go of all this. The Earth's core has stopped rotating shit, and the poles are going to shift, and all. It's not. God's not setting us up for a golden age just to screw us all. Okay,
that is misinterpretation. Gabriel, today, I'm not saying I know everything. Okay, or that I'm the best in the world, but how did he tell us today? Something's coming. We already know something's coming. We've been talking about it forever. Let's see. All the money has to be redistributed. It cannot be confiscated by the government. It has to go through the hands. It has to go into the hands of a base of people who will know what to do with it, to help people affected by what is to come. There's your thing. Something's coming. But we were given the hope first. We were given the answer first. We were given the outcome first. Yes, there will be people that are in need. Yes. But we are putting this in the hands of people so that there are people in the communities readily available to say, holy crap, they don't have any food over there. Well, here you go. Here's a whole bunch of money. Let's buy some food. Let's go do something great. Let's pass out gift cards to everybody. So that's how divine gives you information if there is something negative within it. Otherwise, it's a forecast of fear, and that is coming from somebody talking in your ear.
Zeke wants to know 3, 5, or 1. Pretty simple. 3, 5, or 1.
That's not enough. I don't do that.
Sorry, Patrick wants to know 3, 5, or 1. What'd you say?
I don't do that.
You don't do that?
It's like people are testing me. I don't like that. 3, 5, or 1 what?
Lucy wants to know over on Rumble. Hi, Jen. When will my girlfriend Cheryl get connected again with her daughter? They have not talked for years. Lucy wants to know when her girlfriend Cheryl will get connected again to her daughter.
It's going to be like 3 years. There's a lot of water under the bridge there. Not my business, but there's a lot going on there.
Virginia, what about Trump bucks and checks? Are they ever going to be any good? I doubt it very seriously. Most of the Telegram sites pushing that are kind of scams. Lisa K. Jen, at this moment in time, my job is in jeopardy. I believe God has bigger and better plans for me. Do you see me moving into this greater plan before my current situation intensifies? Thank you both.
Don't worry about it.
You're good.
Sometimes things appears as though when it's time to open a new door and step through it, things that don't fit in with where you're going and what you're going to do start to fall away. And it seems like tragedy. But then in hindsight, it'll make sense. There is something that would possibly have kept you in that job in a miserable place. And this will make it easier for you to move forward into happiness when this happens.
Yes, when you'll know the exchanges happened when I change this to Real Nudes Live instead of Real
Yeah, I'm not doing the show anymore if you do that. Jeez.
Barkley's excited about the dong discussion. He is. Barkley gets excited about all kinds of stuff. Nick Fleming's big on the Venezuelan Boulevard. Yeah, it is a long shot, but you never know. I think it's going to be worth something. I almost feel like when these things come out that they probably didn't intend to really make them worth much of anything, but when they find a lot of people buying them, they give them some value in the exchange process, just so people don't get screwed.
Yeah, what if it is $375,000?
Still a great
per
profit.
million.
Yeah.
Who cares? I mean, like, they're so cheap, and like what if you had like 5 of them? You know, what if you had like 140 or something? That's
guys, it's really important. We've gotten Jen to do a lot of this projection and reading for us about political and world events and the financial stuff, but she's not a financial psychic. She's a healer. That's what she is, really, a healing psychic. So, I mean, there's all these questions. Should I sell my gold and silver? It's like, come on, guys, back off on that stuff. Jen's helping us by looking at these other world events, but that's not what she does primarily. I'm not saying she's not good at it. I'm just saying, you hit it on the head.
Everything that I do is around that, making it okay. I'm a big mom. Like, so that's everything that I am is mommy. I swear to God. And so, like, when you ask me, I want to get you the answer. I want to try. And I always kind of went into the psychic thing in the beginning when I started. It's like, why not? Somebody said, "Well, can you do this?" I'm like, "Sure, why not? We could try."
Yeah.
Some things don't work out so well.
Hopefully, you and your family will end up benefiting from it a great deal. James wants to know if his wife Misty is finally going to get her gallbladder out soon.
4 months.
4 months. Cherry would like to know, Jen, I've been having pain in my back around the middle and I'm not sure what it is. Could you please ask what it is? Thank you. Stress. Repressed anger.
You also have a stomach situation going on. It's coming around from the front. It's either like an acid reflux or an ulcer, hun. You got to cut the stress down.
Dr. John Sarno, Healing Back Pain. Sarno. Dr. John Sarno, Healing Back Pain. Get it on Amazon. It works.
Look up symptoms of an ulcer as well and what you can take that.
Well, yeah, I mean, go to the doctor, but also get
this is all for you to take to the doctor, blah, blah, blah.
Right. My wife, Richard says, my wife passed away on September 4th, 2021. I'm sorry to hear that. I talk to her every day. Does she hear me? My daughter is always talking out loud. Is she talking to her?
Yeah. And what your daughter doesn't know, they always hear you. It's like an energetic signal, and spirit travels at the speed of thought, not light. It's faster. It's as soon as they feel it, they hear you, and then boom, they're there. It's that fast. Same with animals. And I see Mom in the room with her when she's talking out loud, and the daughter doesn't. It's like kind of like doesn't fully realize it, but it's apparent. That's the script the movie that I want someday, aside from the Wishflower Field, which is going to be amazing. Is I would love to show the perspective of people going through things in their lives with these guides and angels around them, and then the guides and angels going back and forth home and the loved ones coming back and like making it like really real. You know, that's what I want to do.
Right. Miranda wants to know about her uncle Matthew D. Moore. How soon will he get to a med bed? He's got a lot of health issues. How soon will Matthew Moore find himself in a med bed?
Uncle Matthew D. Moore. It seems like 3 years.
Okay. Suzanne Colton says, "Hi, Jen. We put an offer on a house that will it be accepted?" Suzanne wants to know if the offer on the house will be accepted, and when do you see us currently selling the house in which we currently live?
A no on the offer.
What about when they will sell their house?
Well, it depends on whether they put an offer on.
Marta would like to know if we will be moving to our dream home in the country this year.
No, it's next year.
It's next year, but you will. Jen, I was going to fly my 19-year-old daughter Nicole out by February 9th to 12th. I wonder if I realize the Super Bowl weekend number 1 for trafficking. You mean like child trafficking, like kidnapping? Should we use a different weekend?
I wouldn't worry about that. That's really not, for what you're doing here, it's not an issue, I don't think.
Yeah, that's true. The test stand for Die Glock, the Nazi bell, does look a lot like Stonehenge in some ways. It's pretty interesting.
All right, I gotta get going.
Mike, are you an OBGYN? No, but I play one on TV.
Shut up. I don't even want to know.
Mr. Joe.
I don't even want to frickin' know.
When I visited the Vatican over 10 years ago, I bought a souvenir. Should I get rid of it now? I have a souvenir I got at the British Museum of an ISIS kitty I've had that for 20 years. Should they get rid of that souvenir? Emdo, I guess I don't know your real name, so.
Well, what I would do is put it in your hands and pray over it. And I want you to ask. And I want you to see God's life. Use your imagination like a child. Children know how to do things. Okay? And see it fill up with God's light and love. And say, I got this as a divine reminder. Let it be. And it will cast out any darkness that's in it, if that's what you think. Make it yours.
Bix Weir says that the debt clock is run by a private company, so it does not reflect a government-certified data. It gets all their data from the government, though, which is publicly issued, so that's true. Bix also said that silver would be worth $500 an ounce by now, that Theta would be worth $8,000 crypto, and that the currency reset is not happening. I love Bix. I've hung out with them, but he's wrong about a lot of things. So, or he's just sort of playing one side of it. I don't know. Okay, I guess that will just about do it. There's other things in here. If we missed your personal reading, Mike is a recreational gynecologist. Wow. On that note, Jen and I are going to end the show today. Jen, any final thoughts before we head out on this marvelous Monday? I guess we're all watching the rest of the week. It looks like it's
every time we get this far, something happens and it knocks us out, and we're like, oh, it's not happening. Look at how many days straight that has not happened. Like, they're still saying good news coming, good news coming, good news coming, good news coming. Be positive. I think we made it. I do.
All right. That's what we have to do. So for Jennifer Faladorian in Hayden, Idaho, I am Mike Barra. We will see you guys back here on Tell the Truth Wednesday. Love you. Have a great Monday and pray this thing in, just like Jen told you to. Let's do it. Bye.